Sports World on the Fletch Zone.
Yeah, let's get it going. Tuesday, baby. It's San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. John and Jim will take over then. CJ doing me dirty on the open.
That
I like
was
it a lot.
fantastic.
It's good stuff. But yeah, if we're going to fight, let's just fight other people.
I mean, it's a reasonable thought.
I think so. I thought it was totally well thought out.
Everyone was thinking it. Fletch just said it. So everyone be kind to Fletch.
Thank you. I'll take that. Padres do get a win last night. It was 1-0 and maybe the most boring baseball game you've ever seen in your entire life. But Steven Kolek, I don't even know if he was good. I don't know if Logan Webb was good. Both offenses sucked. I know that. It was a rough night for the offenses. The Giants left 1 million people on base. The Padres left 1 million people on base. But Steven Kolek pitches well enough. He shuts out the Giants. Suarez with a 6-out save in which he only used 20 pitches. That's about as good as it can get for a closer. But the play of Jose Iglesias saves the night. As Kevin Acee would say, the Padres get Iggy with it last night. Lame. Kevin Acee is going to be joining the show coming up at 12:30 today. We'll ask him about getting Iggy with it and what that exactly means.
Do you think he even knows the song that's from?
I don't even think I know the song that's from. Sammy.
It's Will Smith. Dude.
Oh, the Get Jiggy with it.
Jiggy.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Fletch.
Oh, yeah, Will Smith. I'm in Miami. Welcome to Miami.
Same album, 1998.
You got it. But Kevin Acee got Iggy with it on his article. Kevin Acee is going to be joining the show coming up at 12:30. But I got to tell you, Jose Iglesias plays a hell of a third base, and he saved a run in the first, made a couple plays in the 10th. Jose Iglesias ends up being the star last night after he gets the sac fly to force in the only Padres run of the game. Padres win 1-0 up in the Bay. And I got to say, Mark Willard called it on our show yesterday, Sammy. 100% knocked it out of the park. He said neither of these teams could score runs. Whoever scores 4 runs in the series is probably going to win most of the games. And well, last night, 1 runs on the board combined between these two teams. Boring game that took like 3 hours.
Yeah, it was a tough watch. It was certainly felt like there was a time that I believe it was the 3rd inning that the Giants had bases loaded and nobody out. You got to give credit to Kolek for getting out of it.
Felt like that happened 3 times last night.
They had bases loaded 2 or 3 different, certainly 2 different times. I believe it was 0 outs, and then another time. So, but big performance. I mean, you're looking at that was their ace going, and if you would have said going into extra innings that it'd be 0-0 and it was Kolek pitching versus Logan Webb, I think you would have taken that. Yes, the bats were very disappointing. Fernando had an amplitude of opportunities to perform well. Machado with that crucial fly out when there were 2 runners in scoring position. But I thought that being able to pick up a win, we talked about with the kid going tonight and Kolek going last night, being able to go 1-2 in the first 2 games of the series, knowing that you got Cease and your big guns going on Wednesday and Thursday. That was a big win for the boys.
All right, and it probably needs to be discussed, the stupid review process in Major League Baseball. If you're going to review plays, at least get it right, man. There was 2 separate reviews within about 5 minutes of each other last night. And one of them was so clear and obvious. It was when the runner for the Giants, I'm going to blank on his name, he was sliding back into second base after getting picked off, and he was out clearly. His foot beat the Padres to the base, but his foot clearly comes off the base. And if you zoom in on the broadcast, when they go to the replay center for Major League Baseball, which looks a lot like the banker in what's the game
Deal
where you
or No
have Deal or No Deal? Right. It looks like the banker who's up in the window. You just see a silhouette of a guy at the review station. Who knows if it's a real guy? If it is, he's not doing his job, because you see the foot come off the bag so clearly and the tag get placed so clearly. Mark Grant about had a heart attack on the broadcast last night because it was so obvious. But it doesn't hurt the Padres. They still win the game 1-0 last night. And that's sure, we'll take it, man. I don't know what the hell that was. It wasn't baseball. I'll tell you that much. They play against the Giants again today. All right. On this show, every single day, we do something called the Big Three, where we set up the top stories in the world of sports, not just sticking on the Padres. We will get back to the Padres at 12:30 with Kevin Acee. But Sammy Long, it's time to smash that button.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
You want to watch the show? You can find us on X at Fletch and Sammy, on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760. By the way, X is Twitter. It's just X now. At Fletch and Sammy on X, at San Diego Sports 760 on YouTube. Would love a subscription. Would love a follow. We will follow you back immediately if you follow us on X at Fletch and Sammy. Sammy, where are we starting?
So breaking news right before our show went, Tom Thibodeau fired from the New York Knicks after making the head coach of the New York Knicks fired after making the Eastern Conference Final against the Indiana Pacers. Do you agree with this, Fletch? Do you like him being fired? And considering the kind of the East being wide open, it seems like last year, it feels like it was kind of an odd decision.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the third straight season the Knicks have put out pretty good effort. Last year, they make it deep into the postseason. The year before, they had a good team.
They got beat by the Pacers both years, but last year they got beaten 7, but Brunson was hurt.
And last year they had injuries all over the place, right?
Brunson was hurt, so it certainly their best player was out.
I feel like Thibs is doing a pretty good job. Now, Thibs has a hideous haircut. Someone's got to fix that, but I don't really understand the firing. I'll be honest. We were talking about it a little bit before the show, Sammy. It does feel like the East is wide open next year, with the Celtics obviously going to be taking a bit of a step back with Jason Tatum being injured heading into this offseason. And by the way, the NBA regular season is going to start up again this fall. It's super fast turnaround. Giannis Antetokounmpo, most likely, maybe moving out of the East into the West. It feels like the East is wide open. So if you're the Knicks and you got this core of players together, why not run it back with Thibs? Maybe there's some personality issues. Maybe the owner doesn't like the haircut. There's a lot of things at play.
The haircut. Thibodeau, yeah, it's interesting decision. I understand the frustration with Thibs because we were going into the postseason thinking that he would get fired because it didn't. I mean, if you called that they were going to beat the Celtics, good on you. You're a very rich person in Vegas. Not a lot of people thought that. Certainly Vegas didn't. And the major criticism on Thibs, we've known that he's a defensive mastermind. That's what he was known for when he was with Chicago. They played an excellent style of defense. It was hard for teams to figure out. But the knock on him is that he only plays 7 to 8 guys. And he runs guys into the ground. A month before the season ended, Mikal Bridges, who signed the massive contract and came over with 4 picks, was actually asked to play less. That never happens. He asked to play less, that he was kind of running his body into the ground. Thibs was kind of like, yeah, it's tough. I mean, you're going to play. We didn't settle these picks for you to not play. So I get it. It does feel like, though, in the Eastern Conference, you feel like if you're a star, you'd want to go there because the West is just stacked. You got Oklahoma City who's in the finals right now. The Lakers are going to get a center. The Warriors are going to be healthy again. The Timberwolves were there. Dallas is about to get Cooper Flag. I mean, there's San Antonio. Up and down, it is a tough bracket where the East, Tatum's hurt for all of next year. The Pacers look like they're good and young, but the Knicks kind of feel like they're capped out, and I don't know if the Cavs are going to get that much better. Because
what would Damian Lillard's injury status be heading into next year?
He's out too. So even if Giannis stays, the Bucks aren't. They can't. They have no money because they're paying Lillard, and sadly, he's probably done. His career might be in jeopardy. I don't really know. Like, if you're the Knicks, I feel like you'd run it back, thinking that outside of Indiana, that's really the only team you got to watch out for. So it seemed a little odd they blew him out this early, but.
Man, if I was Giannis, I think I'd staying in the East.
I would.
I don't know if the Bucks are trading him East. They wouldn't. But
there's been some rumors about Toronto because Scotty Barnes are quietly pretty good up there. Now, I don't know if you want to go to another kind of not a small market, but it's in Canada. So
it's called the old Tom Brady effect. Play in the worst division you can. And right now the West is stacked.
And win it for years.
Go ahead, Sammy.
Per Adam Schefter, Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud continues to not throw at OTAs due to shoulder soreness. He said there's no concerns with C.J. It's just general soreness. We're taking extra precaution with him here. We've been hearing a lot about this recently, though, about C.J. Stroud. We keep hearing from D'Amico Ryans about how there's nothing to worry about here. Question for you, Fletch. Who would you rather have going into next year to start your team with? Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, or Trevor Lawrence?
That's pretty easy. Look, if CJ Stroud's hurt, if he was a Padres pitcher, he might be dead with the way they're talking about him. Like, nothing to worry about. CJ Stroud's hurt. The answer's got to be Justin Herbert, doesn't it? Highest upside, least amount of injury concern, both Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud. Now, if this injury is going to go into the regular season, I've had a bit of a history. You know how I feel about Trevor Lawrence. The dude is Daniel Jones, just in different locations with less expectations. So Justin Herbert feels like the easy answer there.
I would go Herbert, but Herbert's interesting because
I like CJ Stroud. He's a baller.
He to be fair to him, he's had more success in the postseason. I think Herbert's a better quarterback. Trevor Lawrence had more success in the postseason. They both won playoff games, whereas Justin Herbert hasn't. Herbert's interesting to me because when he came out of the gates, everyone thought this is going to be a guy that we're talking about with Mahomes and Allen and Lamar and Burrow as atop the AFC, and then it kind of fizzled out. But a lot of it was due to Brendan Staley, and I think it's very fair criticism. I thought he was a terrible coach and held the team back. And then last year you didn't have the receivers, but now you have Harbaugh. You got some receivers. You got one of the best offensive lines in football. At some point, Herbert has collapsed against the Jags, and then that Raider game to get in the playoffs. he didn't play well in. So it's kind of a really make it or break it year.
It's a cursed franchise. There's part of that, but I do feel like the Chargers are a team to watch out for this year in a big way. A team that we could potentially see maybe in an AFC championship because of everything you just listed off. I'd like to see one more receiver come to town. That's about it.
I'm surprised they didn't try to get Devontae.
Same. Doesn't make sense.
Considering he wanted to go to LA. Another quick NFL story. Jacksonville saying that Travis Hunter, leading up the entire draft process, said, I'm going to play both ways. I'd rather retire than only play one way. Now they're saying they see him as primarily a corner.
Oh, are they? Wow.
So
who could have seen that coming?
Aren't you surprised that they're seeing has a corner over a receiver, though?
I mean, you think about wide receivers in today's NFL, it feels like there's a couple coming out of the draft every year who make a huge impact right away. How many truly great cornerbacks are coming out of the draft every year? Of the last 5 years, you could think about like Sauce Gardner, truly great.
Denzel Ward was before
Denzel Ward, right? There's just not as many of them who you can just name coming out. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. You can keep going on and on and on with wide receivers. Cornerbacks are a little trickier. So if he is a true cornerback when you look at his measurables and when you look at how he played in college, he's a great wide receiver. But yeah, obviously, I never thought he was going to be able to play both ways. I think he will have some packages on offense, some special plays designed for Travis Hunter. There's going to be a package installed in the Jacksonville Jaguars system where it's like, all right, Travis Hunter's on the field. Even if he's a decoy, you have to account for that now. But I do think for the most part, he is going to be a cornerback in this league that has a few plays at wide receiver every game.
But I feel like why would you give up that much if you were only going to play him at corner?
Because he's a damn good cornerback.
I know, but considering that, I know there's a bunch of receivers that come out every year, but you give up your pick next year, which could very well be towards the top of the draft. I think the Jags are going to surprise some people and possibly be in the playoffs or kind of hanging around that picture. But would we be totally surprised if they have a top 5 pick? No. The reason you get Travis Hunter is because you're getting a generational type prospect that you're giving up that kind of draft collateral because you're getting a superstar at corner and a superstar at receiver. In terms of Travis Hunter, I thought you'd want to help out Trevor Lawrence by getting a big time receiver. Corner's fantastic, and everyone needs lockdown corners, but we've seen it shift a little bit. We've seen teams have success with not great corners and really good safeties. It feels like if you're just going to play him there, not a position of need that I give up that much collateral. And he's one of the first few guys that we've seen that's a legit two-way start. We saw Dory Jackson at USC.
We haven't seen anything from Travis Hunter yet at the NFL level.
We haven't.
We have no idea what he is.
But Deion Sanders, the only guy, best corner of all time, punt returner, kick returner, but then would also play some snaps at receiver. Dory Jackson was the same way at USC. But it feels like a shame to give up that many picks to not utilize him to his full capabilities.
We'll see. And we're going to continue talking about this today. I got a couple thoughts on the Travis Hunter deal. I got a couple thoughts on a lot of the rookies that we're seeing news about right now. We'll tell you what that is coming up next, but we are 92 days, 11 hours, 45 minutes, and 16 seconds away from actually seeing Travis Hunter on the field and what he does. I'll make my decisions about him then. Coming up on the show, 4-pack of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on June 19th. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. That's going to be in hour 2 today. Right after we chat with Kevin Acee coming up at 12:30, we're giving away a 4-pack of tickets to the 2025 San Diego County Fair, a summer pet-tacular. SDfair.com for tickets and info on that. Those tickets right after Kevin Acee at 12:30. Coming up next, back to the NFL we go, and we're going to talk about some of these rookies and a narrative that's already starting here in June about rookie NFL players. You're listening to San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Taco Tuesday. Download the Prize Picks app today. Hey, it's Fletch. And when you do download it, use promo code Fletch, FLETCH, and you're going to get a $50 boost in your account once you play your first $5 entry. Today is Taco Tuesday. I didn't just shout that for no reason. It's not only a tasty Mexican, delightful little tortilla filled with meat and avocado and pico de gallo. It is also discounts hitting the board all day long. In fact, I'm looking right now. Paul Skeens discounted to 4.5 pitcher strikeouts for his game today against Houston. Download the Prize Picks app and take advantage of the promotions. My favorite part about this app, Taco Tuesdays, Flex Fridays, and every once in a while, they'll throw something random out there on a Wednesday or a Thursday that is just helping you win your lineups. Download the Prize Picks app today. Join the tens of millions of active members. Be included in the billions of dollars that have already been awarded in winnings. Prize Picks is my favorite daily fantasy sports app that I've ever played, and I've played them all. I've tried them all. The only one I've stuck with is Prize Picks. Been with them since November of 2023, and I'll stay with them as long as humanly possible. Download Prize Picks today. Use promo code Fletch. Get that $50 bonus after you play your first $5 entry. And oh, by the way, we are going to gift you a $5 entry coming up at 12:45 today, so don't go anywhere. Download Prize Picks today. Use promo code Fletch and run your game all season long on Prize Picks. There ain't no rest for the wicked, and there's no rest for AM radio, which keeps vital voices accessible. Congress can secure its future, but we need your help. Text AM to 52886 right now to support keeping AM radio in cars. Tell your member of Congress to pass legislation now and keep AM radio in cars. Standard message and data rates do apply to keep this train a chugging. Sammy and I work on AM radio, so we would very much like for it to continue to live past the foreseeable future.
That would be great, because I don't know if me doing interviews, I feel like Fletch and I doing interviews together would be like in Step Brothers when they show up and they go, we're interviewing as a team.
Is that a fart? I think I taste it.
Ketchup and sour cream and onion.
That's onions. Yeah. All right. Now the tuxes seem kind of effed up.
Seth Rogen, a little cameo in there.
So good. God, we don't make good movies anymore. We really don't. Yeah, that's the best. And that would be what it is. I don't know. I'm not really equipped for factory work. I don't think. Not that there's like, I would love to. It's good work. I just don't think that I could do it. I think I'm kind of inept at a lot of things. I might not even be good at this. Who knows? It is San Diego Sports 760. My name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. We would like to keep our job. So text AM to 52886 and convince our Congress to pass some legislation.
619. We didn't get to this in the first segment because we had a lot to get to.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
Said freaking Francis sold the bag. So if you were listening yesterday, long shots, I called Tyler Anderson over on strikeouts that hit. Jalen Duran over Jalen Duran on over Red Demon.
By the way,
total bases.
We'll talk to Kevin Acee in 10 minutes. He said that trade's most likely not happening.
Okay, well at least he cashed part of long shots yesterday. And then so Francis Tiafo, people were texting that they were going to have some early morning activities to be watching this match this morning at the French Open. I woke up early, watched this entire thing. We were looking so good in set 2 when he won, and then Francis let us all down. But it's so tough when I pick a winner and he doesn't show up.
So what Sammy's referring to is long shots, which is something we do at 12:45 every single day. Sammy makes a daily fantasy sports lineup for you to take, and we use Prize Picks. You use whatever you want. But last night, Sammy included tennis into his long shots, and that was the final leg of the entry.
It was the final leg, and
what was the gentleman's name?
Francis Tiafoe. He's an American. Francis let us down in France.
Is he going on the list?
No, he's not there yet because he has cashed some stuff from me privately before.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing with everybody. 858, talking about the Travis Hunter conversation that we were having, said it's a lot easier to play Connor back full-time and make wide receiver packages than play wide receiver full-time and make Connor back packages. And then he responds and says, oh, cornerback, sorry. Look, you're spot on, 858. That is 100% accurate. It's much easier for somebody to completely lock in on the defensive side. It's a little more confusing with some packages. Cornerbacks have a brutal job these days because the way that the NFL has been officiated over the last few years, it leans towards the wide receiver as a little more advantageous. So it is a full-time job. And kind of what I was saying leading into the draft, I still think is true. And I think Jacksonville's figuring it out. And hopefully Travis Hunter's figuring it out. The NFL is freaking hard, man. I've gotten lucky in my life. I get to hang out with two NFL guys on a pretty regular basis. The first part of my career with Nick Hardwick every day, and now with Rich Ornberger every day. And both of them have the same story coming out of college. Once you get to the NFL, you realize you are nothing. You realize that the entire game, the people who've had mortgages relying on them playing this game are so much better than anything you ever once saw in the biggest game, in the biggest college stadium, in the biggest moment of your entire collegiate career. It is a different animal playing at the NFL, and it's hard. Why would you try to make it harder by playing both ways? It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I just don't understand why you give up the draft collateral to pair. I thought the whole point was that Trevor Lawrence.
Because they got Travis Hunter.
But Trevor Lawrence was one of the top prospects, one of the most successful college quarterbacks of all time. You've seen the talent. I know you're not high on him, Fletch, and the stats haven't been great the last 2 years, but he can ball. I mean, evidence against the Chargers when he came back down 27-0. You draft Brian Thomas last year thinking you have a breakout wide receiver. He's going to be even better in year two. And then you have Travis Hunter to pair alongside. This text I completely agree with. It's easier to come in immediately as a corner and be successful because everything you learn in college, it's not that different. You're playing man coverage, the same stuff as you played in college. Whereas receivers, it's going to take a while learning all the stuff. But I feel like it's a mistake to pigeonhole him, especially when you have a star for a franchise that has been literally starved for a star. They're not a relevant franchise. Every time you talk about a team in London, someone getting a team, it's always Jacksonville that's talked about going there. I understand why they do that. Don't handicap it by only playing him on one side of the ball.
Maybe for year one, maybe this changes coming into year two, but it's a lot right off the bat. All right, before we get to Kevin Acee, quickly, OTAs are happening right now all across football. So if you're like me, you are constantly on your team's social media page looking to see who's out there, who's playing, who's looking good, who's looking like they got a year older, and who's looking like maybe they turned back the clock a little bit. Here's my problem with OTAs. JJ McCarthy is slated to be the starting quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings going into next year. There's no secret about that. We have not seen JJ McCarthy take a single snap in a meaningful game of NFL football. All we've seen is like 2 quarters worth of a preseason game last year from JJ McCarthy. Can we stop saying, oh my God, JJ McCarthy's throwing dimes all over the place at OTAs? Duh, they're running routes. Like if he's not doing that, there's a serious problem in Minnesota.
It's always funny when they post like route trees. Look at the pass. I hope he can hit him. I hope with a first round pick, you can hit a guy in stride.
That's like the bare minimum. If you can't do that, we got serious problems. So I'm glad the Minnesota fans are happy that they have their quarterback, but we have not seen him do it in an NFL game.
Isn't it weird this year how we saw like Travis Hunter, generational player, two-way star, kind of a unique situation. Then you have to a lesser degree Ashton Genty, who already Chip Kelly.
Him too, by the way. They're having him like showing drills of him jumping over bags and be like, oh my God, Ashton Genty's going to be generational. Maybe
they're having him change his setup instead of standing straight up like he did in college and kind of bending his knees. We're kind of seeing a struggle between college guys in the NFL, and are you going to accustom to the NFL? You'd think the NFL wins out there, but Genty seemed to take it well. Travis Hunter before the draft said, I'm not going to play one way. We'll see if it happens in the middle of the season.
All right. We got Kevin Acee coming up next. We'll get back to the NFL coming up in hour 2, but stay tuned. SD Fair tickets on the other side. Kevin Acee on the other side. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This sport is sponsored by Rapid Radios. Padres got a victory over the Giants 1-0 yesterday in extra innings. Tonight, Ryan Burgett, the kid, will be going for the Padres against Landon Roop for the Giants. The Giants are currently favored by -160 with the run line staying at 7.5. And Manny Pacquiao, the legend, has announced his return coming July 19th, taking on Mario Barrios for the welterweight championship of the world. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com. You'll get an extra 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Kevin Acee on San Diego Sports 760. Brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place.
San Diego Sports 760. We got 2 hours of Ben Fletcher and Sammy Long for you today. And Kevin Acee, our Padres insider from the Union Tribune, joining us right now from San Francisco. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, man. How are you?
Oh, that's a nice. You called us men. That's so nice of you, Kev. Are you?
I'm the benefit of the doubt this morning.
Are you a big clam chowder guy or garlic fries?
Oh boy. You know what? I would love garlic fries. That'd be so great. But yeah, I don't eat fries. At least right now. By August, I'll eat fries. That's how I go in the season. I'm still eating good right now.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm not a clam chowder guy.
Well, you're kind of in the home of clam chowder and garlic fries. That's like what that stadium is known for up there, the ballpark in San Francisco.
Yeah. Delicious garlic fries. Delicious.
All right, let's talk about last night, Kev. I don't know if we'd exactly call that one a baseball game. Pretty tough to watch on TV with a couple of long, lengthy reviews that the umpires don't even bother to get right in that game. No offense to be found anywhere. Well, not true. There are a lot of guys on base. Nobody just crossing home plate. How could you describe last night in just a few sentences here?
Struggling offenses meet good pitching.
That's not bad.
Not even like a full sentence, but I think I summed it up.
You can tell why you're a professional journalist, Kev. But like Stephen Kolek and Logan Webb, they both had guys on base frequently, and they both just managed to get out of jams. What the Giants had the bases loaded at least twice last night. Stephen Kolek worked his way out of it. A 6-out save for Suarez. But it does feel like this offense thing is a problem. And we know it's been a problem for the Padres. It's been just as big a problem for the Giants. But in the Padres side of things, like, where do you even go from here? Fernando's not hitting. Manny's hitting better, but not great. Jackson's not hitting. Is it just relying on Jose Iglesias and then Gavin Sheets when he gets healthy again to be the offense?
Look, Fernando's got to hit. He just does. Manny's hitting kind of got to be better, especially with runners in scoring position. Jackson is hitting recently, maybe obviously not at the pace that he was or really close to it, but he is hitting. You can't complain about what Jackson's doing. Luis Arise is not getting on base. So, I mean, really right there. I'm sorry, like, we could go down the lineup. We could talk about left field for sure. But if those guys were all hitting, you could put you in left field, all right? Not me, maybe, but maybe you.
Thank you.
That's not to say they don't need a left fielder. They're trying to win a championship here. They do. They'll get one. Okay. But, like, the core is not doing what it needs to do. I do want to say this, and I know that everyone's tired of it. And by the way, you got to beat good pitching in the playoffs. In San Francisco, the press box is lower than anywhere else, and my seat is basically directly behind home plate. Logan Webb was dealing. That was unbelievable. Like, that was a beautiful thing to watch. Stephen Kolek doesn't have Webb stuff, but gets a lot of ground balls and had Jose Iglesias behind him. Not to mention Jay Cronenworth made some nice plays. Luis Arise got some balls. But, like, Jose Iglesias was fantastic. But, like, I'm telling you, it's not just a total hogwash excuse. Like, they faced some good pitching, and Logan Webb was just dynamite last night. But the core of this offense has just got to be better.
What can we expect from Ryan Burgett tonight?
You know, he's a pretty mellow kid. He came in spring training and threw strikes. Got on the radar. I mean, he was on the radar, but I mean, he really made an impression by doing that. And if he can do that tonight, then, you know, especially against an offense that is struggling, then he could survive. And then again, the Padres core needs to hit, is what I would say would give them their best chance. So probably not 0-0 in 10th inning or going into the 10th inning tonight.
Jaron Duran was the topic of conversation for a lot of people yesterday. Kev, you threw a little bit of water on that today. What's the latest with AJ Preller and some trade dealings?
Yeah, I don't want to mean to pour water on it because, like, legit, they love this guy. I mean, they love this guy. We were in Boston last year. There's like, I was getting closer to the trade deadline. A lot of Padres people were there. They love the kid. A lot of trades possibilities get mentioned, and it just makes me laugh because I'd love you to go back and see how many happen. That's not to say, like, if you're a fan of the Padres, count yourself lucky because more of them happen with AJ Preller. I think your interpretation of me throwing cold water on it was like the Padres are pretty realistic right now that they don't have a lot of prospects that are going to move the needle toward getting a deal done for a player like that. And so it's just, that's just the reality. That deal, another deal might get done. Other deals probably will get done. They need a left fielder. They've been looking for all season and increasingly, like almost every week, a little bit more urgency to it. I think something gets done. They might be the first team to make a significant trade. I think they need a left fielder in a bad way. But it's just like, man, trade season is just like, wow. There's just so many things that, and guess what? For all the ones that get out, there's 30 that we never find out about.
Yeah.
For if left fielder's the biggest need, what does you think would be the second that they would kind of try to target as well?
You know the answer to that, Sam Long. It's starting pitching. And that's another thing. Like, where are they going to spend? I think it's got to be left field. But then if they have information, which I don't think they do right now, but if they get it, that Yu Darvish isn't coming back, and especially if it's Michael King is going to be out for an extended period, then starting pitching goes to the top of the list. Because like I said, then it's just even more of an impetus on the core to get things done. They could survive by plugging a hole in left field. They could, but you cannot keep leaking on the starting pitching. The rotation cannot keep leaking. That's fine. Teams, they got really lucky last year where 8 starting pitchers made starts. And that one kid, he was up in June. He's Marlin now. Gosh darn it, I always remember his name. Nice kid. But he made 8 starts. Wasn't great, but he made 8 starts. And the Padres just got through the season. So it's not a big deal that Berger's got to come up, that Hart has been up and down, but you can't keep doing it. You can't get to 10, 12 guys having to make starts and think that coupled with the struggling offense, that you're going to be a contending or a championship team. You just can't.
Well, Kev, I was about to ask you about Yu Darvish and Michael King, and you said something, so I want to give you some time to clarify here. They're not out for an extended period of time as far as we know, correct?
Right.
Okay.
No. I mean, so I always got to be careful, right?
I know.
You can't start have a conversation and then people jump. The other day I put out something that like Michael King could be out a week, could be out 6. And I swear to you that only thing people read was 6 weeks.
That's all I read, Kevin. I think I read All-Star break is what you said, wasn't it?
You guys are too young to remember this. We used to have this thing called reading comprehension. It's like, it was a big part of like your homework and then the SATs. And I, as far as I can tell, that is no longer a part of the American education system.
Yeah, Sammy failed that class actually, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, well, seriously though, is there an update on Yu Darvish? We had a bullpen yesterday, and then another one later this week, and we're going to see how he's feeling. Is that what's happening?
Yeah. I'm anticipating a fuller bullpen today.
Okay. Don't
know how close to like a full bullpen that would be. Yu has a habit of going into the bullpen to play catch, and then people will call it a bullpen. He threw softly in the bullpen. His words were play catch in the bullpen yesterday. So he had a more of a fuller bullpen or like full speed bullpen, like 90% maybe, but only 6 pitches on Saturday. But that was as much as he'd done. Like that was as high intensity as he'd gone. So there's a step. Now, coming back and doing that with a few more pitches today, that's another step. It's Yu Darvish. His next step could be a simulated game of 2 innings, and then step after that could be being in the game, but probably not. Going to take a little more time. But yeah, that's where we're at. He's traveling with the team and on this trip, and we'll, have a bullpen session today.
And then anything new on Gavin Sheets other than what we heard yesterday, where it looks like he avoided concussion, but they're still looking at some stuff with the hip and the wrist?
Yeah, he played, and then after the game, he's ready to go.
Okay,
basically. So probably DH. I don't see him out there in left field, especially here. I mean, good for him, man. The guy can play out there. You can put, there are worse left fielders out there, but that's not a guy you really want to be running out defensively, and you certainly don't here at Oracle Park.
Well, Kev, you are the absolute best, and I know you know that. Have a garlic Friday night. You've earned it, pal. It's been a long season already.
You know what, it has, but I'm gonna hold off. But man, the thing is, the main stand is right next to the press box, and you do smell them. And since I'm not around any other people that I really care about on this trip, I could actually have garlic fries, and it just wouldn't be a big deal.
I think you should treat yourself tonight.
Treat yourself. They're Gordon Biersch, right? Isn't that the company, Gordon Biersch?
I think it might be. Yeah,
I think that's it. Remember that from my younger days, being a little kid going to. Then it was Pat Bell Park, actually, back in the day. You should remember that. All right, Kev, you have a good one, man.
Still call it that. Yeah. All right. See you guys. Bye.
Kevin Acee on San Diego Sports 760. Brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
Well, Kevin Acee, man, he sounds a little down in the dumps these days.
Yeah, he was a little. Yeah, I mean, he has all the information as usual.
We're going into the dog days. You could hear it in Kev's voice.
Yeah, I think he's a little tired of that. Are the Padres treating him right? Is he getting on those first class flights, or what's going on? We getting good times?
The life of a beat reporter is no longer you're on the plane, the charters with the team. You are booking your own flights. You running up those miles.
If I was a beat reporter, the Tribune would be broke.
It's a tricky job, man. I got a lot of respect for those guys like Kevin, especially for baseball, like NFL beat reporters, which Kevin was for a long time. That was his one of his first jobs. He was the beat reporter for the Chargers, and he did an excellent job. You're talking about 8 road trips a year. Major League Baseball, talking about
and you're
30,
saying that like
40.
He's in San Francisco till Thursday night.
Right.
Or Friday morning.
I mean, that dude's got to have wild Marriott points or wherever he stays.
Yeah. I would be running up that bar tab easy.
I'd be the king of, I'd be Mr. Marriott by the end of this thing. All right. It is San Diego Sports 760. Take a quick break. We'll see if we got some redemption coming up on the other side with Sammy Long and Long Shot setting you up with the daily fantasy sports lineup for tonight here on San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Download the Prize Picks app today. You're going to want to use promo code Fletch when you do. Coming up in about 5 minutes, we are going to give you a $5 lineup that you can enter tonight, and that will trigger your $50 bonus that you get when you sign up for Prize Picks with promo code Fletch. I love this app, man. I've been playing it for years, since November 2023. I've cashed out over $5,000 from Prize Picks, and I'm just one story of many. There's tens of millions of active members. Billions of dollars have already been awarded in winnings. You got to download the Prize Picks app. Whatever sport you're into, they got options for you. So if you're watching baseball every day here in San Diego, like Sammy and I are, Prize Picks lineups makes it a lot more interesting. It's the best place to get real money sports action here in California. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code Fletch and start picking more than or less than on player stat projections. If you do 6 Red Demons in one lineup, you could win up to 2,000 times your cash. So if you know game, if you know which players are going off, which players aren't, Prize Picks is the spot for you. It is sports heaven. It is Valhalla. It is past the pearly gates of the sports watcher. So download Prize Picks today. Use promo code Fletch and run your game all season long on Prize Picks. San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher and Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. I'm trying to do some research on the fly here to make sure this is real, and I don't know if it is, but text line, maybe you could help me out, 70470, start your message with team. There's an Instagram post that just popped up saying a life-size Ron Burgundy statue has officially been unveiled in San Diego.
I saw that too.
Where? Yeah,
we need to go see that immediately.
I would like to take a picture. I'd like to maybe offer up a tribute to the San Diego god himself, Ron Burgundy. The hero of a lot of our childhoods, but if you know where it is, please let us know. 70470, start your message with team.
Can you imagine? I wish there's no way to find this number, but the amount of tourism that has come to San Diego because of that movie. Like if you think,
a ton,
like a massive. Everyone, you could say San Diego around the entire world. Everyone says stay classy.
Stay classy, San Diego. Every time I go on Seren Petro show in Kansas City, I get introduced by them playing that drop. San Diego.
It's the best.
They say it was named after, and then it cuts off.
Yeah. That movie is one of the rare, like the entire movie's funny. There's not a portion of a comedy movie that every other line, you could say like 20 different scenes of your favorite scene and people wouldn't call you crazy.
Step Brothers has a 30-minute window in it where it kind of sucks. We can be honest about it.
That's because it's sad.
I love the whole movie, but there is a 30-minute window once they move out of the apartment or the house where it kind of sucks.
Well, no, not when he buys the toilet paper.
Superbad has a rough stretch in it. Love that movie. It has a rough stretch where they're going between party and party, and then it comes back because McLovin's out with the cops shooting cars and stuff.
Yeah,
but
when he gets arrested and the cops come in, that's
it's great. Scene. But so all these comedy, you're spot on, Sammy. Anchorman, there's no drop off. Anchorman 2, a little bit of drop off, but it was still funny. I like
still a funny movie. The problem with Anchorman 2 is you're holding it to. It's a funny movie. You watch it by yourself now. I watched it a couple months ago and I was like, that's a funny movie. When you compare it though to one of the all-time greatest movies of all time, it can't live up to that.
It cannot. All right. Speaking of can't live up to it, Sammy at one point went 5 straight days with a winner on Prize Picks. It was amazing. It was like the best 5 days of my life. I don't even think I'm exaggerating with that. We're in a little bit colder waters right now. We had a winner last week.
We won on Thursday.
We should have had another win last week, but I screwed it up. We should have had another win last night. But some gentleman named Tiafo couldn't hit the tennis ball correctly. In fact, our buddy Rich is on YouTube today saying, Sammy had me watching tennis at 8 a.m. this morning. That French umpire had Tiafo running or fuming with those borderline calls, looking at ball marks on the clay.
Yeah, Rich, I know. I was with you watching that game. They at the end, he should have won that last game. But it was BS. Tiafo went nuts. It was frustrating. He won the first 2 games, then he won the second set. He went 5 games in the third set, and then but it's disappointing. Not how we wanted to do it.
But it's a new day, right here, June 3rd, San Diego Sports 760. Sammy, hit that button.
Let's see. Underdogs? No, that's old. Those with a less than good chance of winning? Too wordy. Wait, got it. It's time for Sammy's long shots.
All right, Sammy, where are we going today?
So I have a 4-legger, and Fletch, you're going to veto one.
Putting the pressure back on me. Great.
Yeah,
so you have someone to blame tomorrow.
Exactly. That's why it's not Bowman. It's just me. You know what did we say?
Get out of jail free card. That's what it is.
What did we say yesterday? When you win in gambling, it's because you know more and are smarter than other people. When you lose, it's because of external circumstances that were not able under your control to be dealt with.
Very wise. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have 2 MLB picks and we have two tennis picks as well. Last week of the French Open, and then we got tomorrow, we got some hockey, and then we got the NBA Finals. So we got a lot of good stuff coming. But for today, I'm gonna start with the 2 baseball picks. Pittsburgh playing Houston. Paul Skeens, 6.5 pitcher strikeouts, more than. Now he's been on a tear recently, so some people could go maybe he's due for a clunker. But Paul Skeens is phenomenal, and he's literally the only guy on this team. Starting to see some trade rumors, possibly because the Pirates are so bad. I believe he's under control for the next 3 to 4 years. So if you're the Pirates, he's going to leave immediately when it's done. So might as well get someone's whole farm system in this thing. Let's go more than 6.5 pitcher strikeouts for Paul Skeens playing Houston. I think they're going to leave him in there forever because it's the only shot to win against the Astros team that's pretty good. Carlos Rodon. This one I'm going a little bit against the grain. I'm going less than 7 pitcher strikeouts. The last 2 outings, he had 8. In the last one, he had 10 against the Angels. He's been fantastic. But playing Cleveland, the team that the Yankees beat in the AL last year, Cleveland's got a pretty good batting lineup. I think Rodon's due for a little bit of regression. 7 strikeouts is a pretty high number with this one. So we're going less than. And also, they're going to have to rely on a little bit more of the pen. Big news for the Yankees. Luke Weaver is now hurt for the next 2 months. He's their closer. So I think Rodon goes less than on that. Now, we're going to some tennis. We're going to get some get back because we were so close to hitting Tiafoe that Novak Djokovic, 20.5 total games won. He's playing Alexander Zverev, who's actually the number 3 seed in this whole tournament in the French Open. Now, he's been extremely disrespected. He actually went to the final a couple years ago, lost, was up in the last set. Then he's lost in the quarterfinals. So this is actually a pick-em at most sportsbooks in Vegas. Zverev versus Djokovic. Djokovic being the 6th seed. We're not doubting Djokovic. And this guy has been one of the top tennis players in all of tennis for years. I feel like people are kind of wishing him to lose because he's 38. He's older than Zverev at 29. We're going more than 20.5 total games won for Djokovic tomorrow morning. Last one, Jannik Sinner, number 1 seed in the entire tournament. Fantastic. He's the favorite to match up with Alcaraz, who's playing right now against Tommy Paul. 18.5 games won, less than for Sinner. I think he's going to close this thing out in 3 sets. I don't think he loses one. Sinner's absolute fantastic, so I think he gets it done fast. So, to recap, Jannik Sinner, less than 18.5 total games won. Novak Djokovic, more than 20.5 total games won. Paul Skeens, more than 6.5 pitcher strikeouts. Carlos Rodon, less than 7 pitcher strikeouts for the Yankees against Cleveland. What do we like, Fletch?
I don't have a good enough vibe on Rodon.
You want to take it out?
I just want to take it out.
Okay.
I feel like 7's probably the number.
You think it's a push?
I do.
Okay. All right, we'll take out Rodon.
Take out Rodon. I'm going to trust your tennis, even though there's absolutely no reason for me to. But Djokovic, I like it.
My buddy Dominic is a massive tennis fan. Has been sending me bets. I feel very confident in him. He's giving me some winners.
Only problem
today.
I have with Djokovic is his eyes are right next to each other.
Yeah, but we don't worry about how he looks. We're worrying about if he can get his backhand going.
I feel like tennis, you got to be able to see everything. And I worry that Djokovic's field of vision is just like the lanes on a highway.
We got to remember, Djokovic has been here before. Zverev hasn't. Djokovic has won here.
And who's this Jannik Sinner kid?
He's a number 1 seed in the whole thing.
Looks like he's 12 years old.
Yeah. Everyone in tennis, these guys in tennis, man, are like, they're like 18. They're just destroying.
You actually kind of look like you should be a tennis player.
Oh my God. I would love to be a tennis player. If I was athletic enough and good enough. And
you got to have stamina in tennis, man. Those dudes are running all over the
for
place.
like 3 hours.
It's crazy. Have you seen some of those ones that they keep going? I don't know what the tennis equivalent of overtime is. Deuce. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, because you just keep going.
You just keep going. There's no clock on tennis. You're going until you win.
Yeah. So again, we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna have some NHL, and then Thursday, obviously, we're gonna be loaded with the NBA Finals.
Dude, I'm filthy on Wii tennis. I tell you what.
Oh yeah, back in the day,
dude,
doubles
that super serve every time
until someone got mad, and then or they got sweaty so that it came off their wrist.
I've broken more than one TV in my life with Wii tennis.
What video game, before we get out of here, made you the most angry when you were a kid?
Mario Kart. Not even close.
Yeah.
Fist fights have been started in my household between my brother and I because of Mario Kart.
Madden's pretty rough too. 2K is pretty aggressive.
Do that OG Halo split screen.
Oh, and then, or if you're playing Call of Duty, you could see the other guy. You could spy on the
screen
other
peeking is illegal.
Screen peeking.
Illegal, dude. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. SD Fair tickets on the line right now. Caller number 7, you are going to the SD Fair this year with a 4-pack of tickets. Bring the whole fam, why don't you? The San Diego County Fair this year, it's a summer pet-tacular at the Del Mar Fairgrounds from June 11th through July 6th. SDFair.com for tickets, but they're celebrating pets this year. I have a pet. Everyone has pets. Love your pets. Go to the San Diego County Fair 2025. June 11th through July 6th. Caller number 7 right now, 877-767-4760. Hour 2 coming up next.
This report is sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Padres back in action after winning 1-0 in the 10th inning last night against the Giants. It'll be game 2. Landon Root will be going for the Giants, while Ryan Berger, who got called up for the Padres, will be going there. Padres currently have a 2-game lead on the Giants in the division, and the run line has been set at 7.5. That game will be going at 6:45. In the NHL, the Stanley Cup will be going tomorrow night. Edmonton and the Florida Panthers will be a rematch of last year. Game 1, Edmonton's favored by -130. It'll be in Edmonton, Florida, +110 on the money line with the total set at 6.5. That game will go in at 5 o'clock. Is that a weird rattle in your HVAC system or the sound of expensive guessing? At Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air, we'll give you 3 real options, guaranteed, or your visit is free. Nobody wows clients like we do. AndersonPHA.com.
Check the clock. What time is it? It's high noon. Big win up in the Bay last night for Mike Schilt and the fellas.
Line drive right at Luis Arias for the catch, and that'll do it. The Padres hold on to a 1-0 lead here in the 10th.
Good to know we can come together and support the boys.
I don't condone fighting in any sense of the word.
We all know.
Yes, peace is always the best move.
But if you are going to fight, why are you fighting the Padres fan 2 rows in front of you?
Yeah,
Swings, too. Did you see the video?
yeah, they were getting after it,
Dude
man.
gets knocked.
Uh-oh. Let me get this out then. We at the Fletch Zone do not endorse or condone any violence in any way, shape, or form. Now let's get back to the sports world on the Fletch Zone.
And any of this content cannot be rewritten or reproduced without express permission and consent
Look at-
given by the NFL.
Look at CJ. Look at CJ looking out for us.
It's San Diego Sports 760. My name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. We got one more hour for you today. We still have a 4-pack of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley out in Chula Vista. We got to rip through some stuff here in this final hour of the show. So first of all, a couple texts that came in during the last hour. 619, team needs to get Jarren Duran right now. We just had Kevin Acee on. Jarren Duran would be great from the Boston Red Sox to come over. AJ Preller's had a little apple in his eye for him for years. But like Kevin Acee said, what do the Padres have to give up? The dude has 2.5 more years of control, I believe. And so it'd just be kind of tough to do right now. Not saying AJ Preller couldn't. He's done a lot more. 619, 40 road trips, Fletch? Seriously? 6 games per trip. There's now 240 games. Season's been extended. I was including the little mini trips in between, bro. Thanks for listening, 619.
Fletch failed
Appreciate
math.
it. I also am not very good at math. I think I did the math. It actually comes out to like 27 road trips per year, but you include the little jumps in between different places, right?
I don't know if we're doing that.
Like you hit the road.
So you're saying if you have a connecting flight, that counts as a road trip?
No, if you go to San Francisco and then your next series is in, I don't know, Colorado.
Oh,
you
I
include the trip to Colorado in that.
I see where you're at.
And then we got on this thing about Anchorman because there's a new Ron Burgundy statue, apparently, allegedly, in San Diego. And we talked about how there's always lulls in comedy movies. 703 says Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura, no slowdowns.
Yep.
A truer text has never been sent. Ace Ventura 1, Ace Ventura 2. I had both of them on DVD in a combo set from Walmart when I was growing up.
We're talking about.
I think I watched them on repeat for about 6 years.
There's nothing quite like when you have box set movies. To
Seriously.
like put them in the DVD player.
I
Like,
love it.
I know it's retro, but it's kind of fun.
I had a little personal DVD player that I kept in my room, and it was just Ace Ventura, Mission Impossible 2 on repeat because those are the 2 DVDs I had.
Mission Impossible 2.
Great one, dude. That's the one where they
619 has a phenomenal text.
619. What's your Prize Picks winning percentage, Sammy? Would you say it's about 60%? And if so, does it work every time? Like Sex Panther from SoCal Jayhawk. Another
Wow.
Anchorman reference, man.
That's fantastic, SoCal Jayhawks.
60% of the time, it works every time, Ron.
That's gonna be a drop that gets recorded in about 10 minutes.
All right, Big 3, hour number 2 is coming up right now. Sammy Long's going to take us through the top stories in the world of sports. So much to get to this hour. Sammy, smash that button.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
If you'd like to watch the show today on X or Twitter, we are at Fletch and Sammy. You can live stream it there on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760. Would love a subscription there. That one stays live from 12 to 6. John and Jim jump on it right after we do. Sammy, where are we starting with hour 2?
Jet Passage put a tweet out. Obviously, Duran's been linked to the Padres in left field. Another possible option, Luis Robert Jr. A, do you like this move? And number 2, do you think there's other more pressing needs than left field? Or what would be the second most pressing need behind left field?
Well, left field is the problem right now, and I think they need to address that before the trade deadline, maybe closer to the trade deadlines when you go after starting pitching, because then you'll know a little bit more about where your situation is with Yu Darvish and Michael King. Look, Luis Robert Jr. with the White Sox now, I believe, 2 years ago, hit like 38 home runs. 2 years ago was awesome. This season, he essentially is what the Padres already have going in left field, but he's playing center, so he becomes a better outfielder, I guess, if he moves over to the left. And at the plate, if they can unlock that 48 home run hitting guy, great, bring him over. But right now, that feels more like a lateral move, and I think you run into the same problem you run into with Jarren Duran, where do the Padres even have the trade capital to pull that off? Because Luis Robert Jr. still has a couple years of control as well. But Jeff Passan's head's in the right place. I just feel like AJ's going to do the AJ thing where it's a name we've never heard about. And then all of a sudden there's a new left fielder with the Padres and he's doing the Donovan Solano thing from last year. Hopefully that'd be best case scenario.
Yeah, Robert Jr. would definitely be more affordable than Duran. I'm with you on that. Anyone in left field is frankly better than
not much, dude. Robert's salary, so he's making 15 this year, and then the next 2 years, 20 mil a piece. I just don't see the Padres doing that right now. But it might be cheaper to get him in the door in terms of prospects. I don't know.
You got to do something because, as Kevin Acee said, this is a team that has for real championship aspirations. You can't go into the postseason with a glaring weakness in left field with can't play defense and killing the bottom of the lineup. Again, what happened in the playoff series last year? We go back to the Dodgers. When the Padres were beating the Dodgers and taking it to them, they're around the base pass. The 7, 8, 9, and then 1 hitters were batting well. In the games that they lost, 7, 8, and 9, and then Arias was hurt. He had a really rough series. But they were getting no production from the back end there. You're going to need the back end to step up. I mean, look at the 2022 team that beat the Dodgers. Who was the hero? Jake Cronenworth. You had guys from the back of the lineup that are really producing. Anyone's better right now in left field. They got to do something. I think this would be an option, but, I mean, we'll see about the money. It was a major problem last year in the offseason. Are they willing to spend that for Luis Robert Jr.? We'll see. But
is he worth it? I don't even know, man.
It's better than what they have.
Maybe. All right, what's next?
All right, let's go back to the Knicks. Tom Thibodeau fired. Breaking news of the day. I mean, just instant reaction to this. And we've seen a lot of NBA head coaches fired. I mean, Michael Malone won a championship a few years ago. Tom Thibodeau, one of the kind of long-time, well-respected coaches in this league. I mean, do you get this if you're the Knicks?
And yet JJ Redick still has a job after completely mismanaging postseason aspirations for the Lakers, leaving all 5 guys in the entire second half and just really screwing everything up. His coaching was bad this postseason, but you live and you learn. Maybe it's going to be better. What, Luka's signing an extension now? Is that what's happening?
August 2nd, 4 years, $229 million. They're going to do it, or they're going to sign a 3-year, $185 million, so he can come up earlier in his career and then sign that mega max for the money that the Dallas Mavericks iced him out on when they traded him.
Well, it's like $117 million difference, right, between what he would have signed with the Mavs?
Yeah, because you have the super max. Because the NBA does the thing, for those who don't know, where if the team that drafts you or that has you, you can sign a longer term or a more expensive deal with that team as a way to encourage people not moving the whole time.
All right, so in terms of the coaching, yeah, a lot of coaches have been fired, and it just kind of goes to show me coaching in the NBA really isn't all that important. You got a lot bigger things to worry about. Thibs, big personality, New York, big market. They didn't get the job done. Someone's got to fall on the sword. Thibs fell on the sword.
I was get rid of Thibs. I just don't know who you're getting. I don't know who's out there. You're going to get some assistant like Bickerstaff or someone from the Cavs or so, like they've been a couple Cavs assistants have been really linked to Phoenix. I don't know who's out there that you're looking at that's going to be able to lead New York, one of the biggest market in America. With that team, it feels like that team is kind of capped out. You trade all your picks from Mikal Bridges, and we're talking about last hour. The Eastern Conference, Jason Tatum out next year. Celtics probably not doing too well. The Bucks are maybe going to trade Giannis, and Damian Lillard's out next year. So even if they keep Giannis, that's not a championship team. The Cavs obviously were exposed with problems that they had by Indiana. Indiana could run this thing for a little while. Maybe a team like Miami, maybe a team like Toronto steps up. But the Knicks would probably be second favorite next year to come out of the Eastern Conference behind the Pacers. I don't think this was the total smartest move.
All right, we got time for one more.
Last story. One of the most legendary fighters in the game, Manny Pacquiao, at the age of 46, is coming back to fight welterweight champion Mario Barrios. This fight will be in July 19th. Barrios is a minus 450 favorite. Last time Pacquiao was out here, didn't do too well. Are you excited to see him back? Are you worried that he's back? What's your thinking on this?
Not worried about him. Unless he gets his absolute lights knocked out. Look, Manny Pacquiao is trading in, fighting with words as a politician for getting back in the ring. Manny Pacquiao, this is a clear to me cashing in on some money. Who knows if it's even going to be a real fight? How many have we seen of these?
It's a real fight because there's a belt on the line.
Yeah, but even the real fights haven't really been all that real.
No, but Barrios is he's fought Tank Davis. He's a young fight. There's no way Barrios is going to give up his belt for a payout with Pacquiao. He's excited because everyone's going to buy the fight.
Maybe Manny is seeing this current state of boxing and saying there's only one man to fix it. I'm worried about this. You seem nervous about it. You seem like you think Manny's going to come in and die or something.
I'm a little bummed out about it because I love Manny Pacquiao. I watched all of his fights, and you talk about as a fighter, a guy people aspire to be. Started at flyweight at 108, won world titles in all the weight divisions up to 147 when he fought Mayweather in that mega fight in 2015. The reason this is even happening, he fought Keith Thurman, who was a really kind of good young gun. He was a massive underdog at the age of 40, and he upset him in the summer. Then he fought this guy, Yordenis Ugas, who's a really kind of good Cuban fighter, and he picked him apart at age 42. Then he retired 4 years later. The only thing Manny has left is his power. We're going to see if the quick hands are still there. Some of these guys, De La Hoya, Mike, that fight was obviously kind of fixed with Jake Paul. He didn't knock him out, but it's hard to see these guys not be able to let it go. The only guy that's ever been able to do it to come back at the oldest champion ever was George Foreman at 47 when he knocked out Michael Moore. This is a little. I just don't want to see Manny get flattened by Mario Barrios, and then our last image of Manny Pacquiao is him laying out on the mat and could be seriously hurt. I mean, he's 46 years old. This is a hurt business. This is not, hey, we're coming back to play, I don't know, tennis at the age of 45, and it's like, all right, you weren't very good.
Are any of these any good? Manny Pacquiao back in the ring because retirement just couldn't keep up with him either. That's not bad. At this point, Manny's boxing gloves have more comebacks than most fighters' careers.
Is this chat GPT?
It is. Pacquiao's coming out of retirement again because golf just doesn't punch back. I like that one.
Yeah, these guys can't let it go. It's like, dude, you have a lasting legacy. Why are you coming back to get hurt?
Pacquiao said he missed the ring. Turns out he just meant the bell that lets him punch people again.
I hope he's okay. And if he wins, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be world news, but I don't see it happening. Barrios is a good fighter. He was taking it to Tank Davis till he absolutely flattened him in the seventh round.
Manny's returning from boxing so fast, even a shadow couldn't retire in time. Manny's returning to boxing because apparently being a senator wasn't stressful enough. Most guys his age buy sports cars. Manny just buys more time in the ring.
He was a senator. But just go be a senator.
Yeah, but we're all going to pay $80 to watch him fight.
Well, I'll be watching.
All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Take a quick break. On the other side, we got Dirks Bentley tickets to give away. We got some more NFL storylines to catch up to. We're going to do all of that and more coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is back, and you can win your way in before you buy them. Live performances by Bryan Adams, Ed Sheeran, John Fogerty, Mariah Carey, Maroon 5, Sammy Hagar, The Offspring, Tim McGraw, and many, many more. September 19th and 20th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, 2 nights, 1 stage. Listen to win tickets before you can buy them at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m., including airfare and hotel accommodations in Vegas, plus $1,000. And our exclusive Capital One card holder pre-sale will begin Wednesday, June 11th at 10 a.m. Who would you want to see on that list, Sammy? Bryan Adams, Ed Sheeran, Mariah Carey, Maroon 5, Sammy Hagar, Offspring, Tim McGraw, and more.
I'm excited for the Offspring. Now, Van Halen's my favorite band of all time. But
you seem like a big Mariah Carey guy.
I'm a Roth guy. So I like to see Hagar, but if he's talking crap about Dave, then no. But Mariah, oh, when you walk by every night.
I was just watching Don't Mess with the Zohan was on TV last night. Clicked over to it for a second during one of the 5 reviews during the Padres game. That's a good movie, man. It's solid. I don't think you can get away with making it in 2025, but it's a solid flick.
You know, my favorite Sandler movie is actually Little Nicky. Everyone forgets about that movie.
Little Nicky's solid.
When he's the devil's son.
I like Big Daddy.
Big Daddy's great.
Big Daddy will make you cry.
Yeah.
That's a sad movie, man.
Yeah.
Click will make you cry.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, who knew?
I haven't seen Click in forever.
Click's Christopher Walken's in that movie.
You see Happy Gilmore 2 coming up?
Yeah, it's in like a month. It comes out near the beginning of July.
Very excited.
Very, very excited. Hopefully they do it justice, man. I get nervous with these sequels to movies, especially comedies that I know and love. 619 says, boys, I missed long shots. I just heard Sammy waxing poetic about Paul Skeens. You got a little, what was the lineup that we put in today, Sammy?
Pulling it up right now. So we got Skeens over 6.5 strikeouts. I know that.
Rodon more. Oh, no, we took him off.
We took out Rodon. Don't be going back on it.
Skeens and a couple of tennis guys.
Yeah, we got some French Open stuff going on. So Skeens over 6.5 strikeouts. Djokovic playing Zverev more than 20.5 total games won for Djokovic. That's a pick 'em in Vegas. And Yannick Sinner, the number 1 seed, less than 18.5 total games won. I think he sweeps him in the sets. He doesn't win one.
All right, Ryan Bergert is on the mound for the Padres a little bit later today. If you don't know the name, that's okay. He's been in 4 different games for the Padres this year, coming out of the bullpen. He's split time between San Diego and El Paso so far this season, but Ryan Bergert is pitching for the Padres tonight because they need starting pitching. And so they're going to the well out of their the minor league systems to try to get some pitching today, and hopefully it works out. Good news, Giants can't hit, and that was on evident last night. Bad news, Giants are due to hit. And against a guy like Ryan Bergert, this might be the opportunity for them to get back on track. Ryan Bergert's been good for the Padres so far this year. In his 4 appearances, he's given up a couple hits. He hit a batter, but has not given up a run yet in a Padres uniform. I don't know what you expect out of him last night. Kolek went deep into yesterday's game, so the bullpen's not going to be too much of an issue. Outside, you probably won't have your closer because Suarez did go 2 innings yesterday, but he only threw 20 pitches. So Ryan Bergert coming up today, Padres need something from him, man. He's got to get out there and get some innings because this bullpen has been overused. You're in this stretch of a ton of days in a row without a day off, and Bergert coming up tonight just has to do something. But more so than that, can they get the bats going at all? Can they get some hits with runners in scoring position? Man, he failed that last night again. So the Padres, it's great. You got the win yesterday, 1-0 over the Giants in 10 innings in a game that lasted forever. But can you do something offensively to back up Ryan Bergert? You're how old is Ryan? I think he's 25, maybe less than that. I think I saw it yesterday. He was 25. But can you get some backup from your lineup tonight to make Ryan Bergert's debut as a starter for the Padres a little bit easier?
Well, and Rube, who's going for the Giants, giving up 6 home runs on the year. So there should be the ability to get after him a little bit. Logan Webb, the best pitcher for the Giants going yesterday. So the fact that the Padres were able to steal a win, even though it was ugly, the bats did not show up. Machado and Tatis had multiple opportunities to kind of break the game open, and they didn't do it. And it felt like after the 3rd inning, when the Giants had bases loaded, nobody out, you're going like, damn, because then you're going to give Logan Webb maybe a 3-0 lead, spot him. And when the Padres got out of it, you're kind of waiting for the bats to go make them pay for it, because it feels like every time you have an error in baseball, you don't capitalize on opportunities the other team, it comes back to bite you. And so they did capitalize. It wasn't because of the bats, because the pitching was excellent. To what you said about the bullpen, the Giants bullpen's completely ready to go because Webb went so deep, but the Padres should be pretty good. Kolek went a ways outside of having Suarez. Yeah, Berger can get you something. This would probably be the scheduled loss of the 4 games if you were looking at it, but the fact that you had Kolek and Bergert Yesterday, we're talking about it. Can you go 1-2 in those games? And hopefully you can sweep or get after them Wednesday and Thursday. Really crucial games. Obviously, the Dodgers lost yesterday, a tough one to the Mets. So gained a game on the division. You beat the division rival in the Giants. Really big opportunity over the next 3 days here.
All right, Brad Paisley tickets coming up in just a minute. Or not Brad Paisley, sorry, Dirk Bentley in just a minute. But first, Kevin Acee earlier on the show today with us. He was good, like he normally is. But Kevin, in his article this morning, talked about getting Iggy with it because Jose Iglesias was the hero of yesterday's game for the Padres. He played a really great third base, if we're being honest. Like that diving play in the first inning was amazing. Had a couple plays in the 10th that saved the game for the Padres. But Jose Iglesias also drove in the game-winning run, a.k.a. getting Iggy with it. That's what the Padres did last night. If Ryan Bergert comes out and throws a freaking gem tonight and leads the Padres to a victory, is Kevin Acee writing about the Burgert King?
Oh,
is Kevin Acee writing about how he's got icebergers in his veins?
I like that.
I feel like Kevin should probably hire me.
Yeah, you're gonna start writing for the Trib here in a minute.
Maybe
on a serious note with those two. If Bergert were to do that, Kolek had the first 2 great starts. You're going, wow, he's really good. I believe one of those against Colorado. I could be wrong on this. Pittsburgh was the other one, or Miami. So 2 not super good teams. So
I think it was Pittsburgh, New York, and Miami. No, sorry, Tampa, New York, Miami.
Okay, so the first couple outings he was very good. Then the last couple had a rough outing, but then yesterday was fantastic. I got in some jams, but we're gonna give him credit. He is a ground ball pitcher, so you're kind of used to a lot of traffic on base, getting out of there. The Padres desperately need someone to step up here. It cannot just with King out. It cannot just be Cease and Pivetta. You got to have one of these guys. If he can pop or Berger can show something tonight, especially with King out, and then we're all waiting on you, Darvish. We'll see what's going on there, but that's feels like kind of a crapshoot right now. But someone's got to step up at the back end of this rotation to be reliably, consistently good.
If he was in the Michael Bay cinematic universe, he could be the Burgertron.
That one's a little. I like the first one
of the Decepticons.
I like the first
as they're
one.
Coming to take on the Autobots.
You have to explain that one.
Just Transformers. I just went a little deeper.
The Burger King was your best. That was good.
Linkin Park is going to start singing because I just named a new Decepticon.
I don't even know what a Decepticon is.
Dude, you never watched the Transformers movies?
I actually didn't.
With the Michael Bay directed ones with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. What the hell is wrong with you?
I've seen clips. I know.
Megan Fox, dude.
I know.
Transformers 2, there's a 2-minute sequence of slow motion running.
I gotta watch it because I had a friend when I was a little kid who like loved Transformers. So I think I was kind of like out of spite.
Movies are actually really, really solid. The first 2 Michael Bay movies. The third one falls off a little bit.
You're telling me that they couldn't keep the script going?
They couldn't get it right. No, Megan Fox was out of the third one. Some contractual dispute.
So it wasn't like some storyline that was can't miss Oscar worthy.
No. They're just fun. The first one's actually really solid. I love that movie. All right, coming up next on San Diego Sports 760, Sammy and I are trying to formulate a little bit of an idea to somehow get us to a place where we both really want to go and somehow get that paid for. We're going to kind of lay that out on the other side here. But right now, your opportunity to win a 4-pack of tickets to go see Dirk Bentley. I'm going to be at this show. It's on June 19th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater out in Chula Vista. Tickets and info, you can get them at Ticketmaster.com. Or if you just want to win a pair of tickets, call right now. 877-767-4760. Dirk Bentley in Chula Vista, June 19th. Dude puts on a hell of a show. It's different every time. He has way too much fun when he's up on stage. If you want to have some fun at that concert, June 19th, Chula Vista, call right now, 877-767-4760. Our brilliant idea coming up next, San Diego Sports 760. Hey, it's Fletch for Gary Cooper at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. Been telling you that Gary and I have been buddies for a while now, and I think we proved it a little bit this weekend. We went out to lunch, and while we're sitting there with Gary and his beautiful wife, Karina, they are telling me all of the places that I have failed as a San Diegan, everywhere I haven't gone yet. And so Gary Cooper here right now, I always tell you, why trust someone out of market with the biggest investment of your life? Well, Gary Cooper, the true San Diegan, is here today. Thank you, Gary.
Hey, I had a good time hanging with you guys. And yeah, I was born and raised here in San Diego. I went to Franklin Elementary, Wilson Junior High, and yes, I went to Hoover, and I bleed the red and black, and I also went to San Diego State. And so that's why I'm such a big Aztec fan. But yeah, there's places like El Indio, Nicolosi's. I can give you so many cool places that as a San Diegan, you got to know. You just got to know.
And in the middle of all that, Gary can help you buy a house or sell a house or refinance your loan. Give Gary Cooper a call today, 858-376-1299. Visit him online at mountaintrustmortgage.com.
This sport is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment. Padres got a 1-0 victory over the Giants yesterday. They'll be back in action at 6:45 tonight. The kid, Ryan Berger, will be going for the Padres, while Atlanta Roop will be going for the Giants. The Giants are currently minus 160 on the money line. In the breaking news of the day, per Shams Charania, the Knicks have fired Coach Tom Thibodeau after their best run in the last 25 years, making the conference finals and losing to the Pacers in 6 games. This Father's Day, grab great gearhead gifts at Summit Racing. You'll find parts, tools, accessories, apparel, and more, or give the perfect card, a Summit Racing gift card. Fast shipping, massive inventory, and expert tech advice are a click away at summitracing.com.
Tomorrow night, 4 o'clock, right here on San Diego Sports 760. It is SDFC Midweek Live. Hear from the head coach, Mikey Vadas, as well as interviews with players and coaches. Find out the latest club and MLS information. SDFC Midweek Live every Wednesday night right here on your home for SDFC San Diego Sports 760. Hoping to get a little Chucky Lozano update after he injured that hamstring once again in this Saturday's win for SDFC. All right. NFL, it's coming up real soon now. I have the countdown up in front of me. We're actually at 92 days, 10 hours, 26 minutes, and 4 seconds until kickoff between, is it the Cowboys and the Eagles? On that
Philly, yep.
September 4th night out in Philadelphia. We really can't wait for it. And Sammy and I have concocted this idea, this plan, this game plan that we've really put our heads together. And after we made a pile of rocks, we started talking about and flushing out. Sammy and I are going to go bankrupt or become ridiculously rich because we are going to Vegas before the start of the NFL season. And I'm going to take the NFC. Sammy's going to take the AFC. We're going to throw a nasty little parlay down, each of us, on division winners at the beginning of the season. And then we're going to combine it for one mega parlay.
I feel like
you're in charge of the AFC. I got the NFC.
I think we should flip that.
Why?
Because my team's in the AFC and your team's in the NFC.
And we're both going to pick our teams.
I mean, my team's going to win the division. Your team, I don't know about that. But so I think that we should flip that. NFC, I do NFC, you do AFC.
Okay.
Or honestly, you could just let me do all the picks and we'd be in good hands. I'm not saying you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying I'm good. When we go back to our division winners, you guys were very kind to have me on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch when I got hired last year.
Mm-hmm.
We did picks. I was pretty money on those picks.
And I wasn't?
I don't know what you did.
I'll pull up the spreadsheet. We can go back and do the math, but I remember looking at it.
The dog bite or whatever with the loser.
No, because we switched stations in the middle of all that. But I can go back to the spreadsheet and look at all the picks. I do think I ended up winning the whole thing. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna really work on this. We're gonna flush it out, and you and I are going to Vegas.
Yes.
I'll treat, I guess. I'll buy the hotel room.
No, I'm going to Vegas in a week and a half.
What are you doing in Vegas in a week and a half?
Well, all my boys are going out there. It's my birthday, but that's not really why we're all going.
It's your birthday in a week and a half?
Uh-huh.
What day?
Friday.
Next Friday.
June 13th, yeah.
Next Friday the 13th.
Uh-huh.
It's your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It's your 23rd birthday.
I don't even make a big deal. I hate when people are always like, "Oh, it's my birthday."
Too late. We're making a big deal out of it.
You don't have to do that. I'm going to Vegas at night. So
text line, we're roasting Sammy on Friday the 13th.
I like that. Yes, we should do a roast of me.
That's happening.
Oh, we need it. First off, I'll put this together.
I need to get Tony Hinchcliffe on the phone.
Dude, you could send him a picture of me, and then he could just eviscerate me.
It's not a bad idea.
We could get people around the building to come in here and eviscerate me.
It's not a bad idea.
Roast of Sammy, Friday, June 13th.
If we don't make him cry, it's a failure.
I pride myself on having pretty thick skin, but we'll see. If Hinchcliffe comes in here and he's going to eviscerate me.
Man, I already got my NFC winners. Now I'm going to have to throw those in the trash.
Who's your NFC winners?
Well, who do you think?
Well, that we already know that's.
We're going Niners. We're going Packers. We're going Commanders, and we are going. The NFC South was stupid. I couldn't decide. I think my initial decision with the NFC South was we're going to chop it off and relegate it to the UFL.
See, I'm already taking over the NFC because the Packers aren't winning that division. Unfortunately,
Dude, I think they are.
The Niners aren't. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Fletch.
They
not going
are
to win that division, and the Commanders. I'm okay with the Commander pick. I think that it's hard to go against Philly, but I do think they lost a lot on defense. So we'll see if they're the same.
And I guess the Bucks.
What team though are we not talking about enough heading into next season, Fletch? Who is your team that you're going, in all seriousness? Well, I don't know how they're not getting enough love.
Okay, I have a team in mind. The thing is, I don't think it's a playoff team. I don't think it's a team that's going to go to crazy heights, but I do think it's a team that's going to be much better than they were a year ago. Is that the only qualifications we're going for here?
Because I think they outperform.
They've been a punching bag over the last few years, and it's been easy to tee off.
What team is likely to go worst to first? It happens every year.
Well, the 49ers are the most likely to go worst to first in the entire NFL.
Fair.
It's not even close. Like, they're the only team that really fits that criteria.
You know, I'm on Chicago. I think Chicago's going to win that division.
They're not. That's a ridiculous statement. The other three, they're probably going to come in fourth. They're not going from 4 wins to 10 wins.
Did you see Frank Ragnow retire? Did you see that the Lions lost both their coordinators, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson? Oh, by the way, to the Bears.
Did you see that the Vikings and the Packers are both also good football teams in the division?
Are you ready to put your faith behind JJ McCarthy?
No, but the Packers are still there too. Great running back, good offensive line, good young receivers, quarterback on the verge of in between that good to really good line. Like Jordan Love is right there. Good head coach. I like the Packers a lot heading into this year. My team, and you're going to laugh, but they got better, is the Carolina Panthers.
I like that.
And it's actually going to come from play of Bryce Young, who figured something out towards the end of last year. I was watching these Panthers games, and it was a different guy. The guy who went to the bench early in the year, who got replaced by Andy Dalton. And then Andy Dalton, his family gets in a car accident, so he can't go to a game. Very, very sad situation. But Bryce Young steps back in, and for the last 5 weeks of the season, Bryce Young looked like a guy who should have been picked number 1 overall. Panthers playing a terrible division. That's the biggest thing Bryce Young has going for him. I do feel like the Carolina Panthers are a team we're not talking nearly enough about this year.
Yeah, because Bryce Young had all the talent in the world. Number 1 overall pick, a guy that was completely cast aside. And then within last season, to think of his roller coaster.
He was terrible to start the year.
And to bench. Remember LeBron, all the athletes were like tweeting at him, like, keep your head up. I know this is tough to be absolutely bench and kind of be the guy all your career. And then, sadly, Andy Dalton's, I believe his family or him got in a car accident. And so then he had to play. That's a division also that is kind of there for the taking. I was in the Cardinals. I've been on this. I think the offense is going to be a lot better this year, and they kind of fix that defense, but there's so much going on. Are you reading this text?
What is going on the text line? Roast Sammy is next Friday, not today, dude.
This is why I didn't want to say it was my birthday. Fletch as. Read the text, Fletch.
Well, okay, we're going to start from the top here. 703 says Sammy probably likes Adam Sandler's Jack and Jill movie the best. I've never even seen that movie. Is it any good?
It's horrible.
What is it?
No, you never seen Jack and Jill?
No.
He plays both characters.
Oh, he's the guy and the girl.
It's like,
doesn't he put on a fat suit in that movie?
I don't know if he's got a fat soup. It's an aggressive choice. It's one of Sandler's rare misses.
Well, that's my boy I actually kind of liked with him in Sandberg.
That's my boy's hilarious.
It's a funny movie, dude. 949 says one chip challenge for the loser of the picks. Absolutely not. Never doing that again. Thought I was going to die.
I think
Puked on the side of the
wings
road.
challenge. I think that'd be good.
A wings challenge?
Yeah, or like the one chip. You can get the hot ones challenge.
I'm doing 0 spice challenges for the rest of my life. Did it once. It was maybe the worst day of my entire life. 949 Sammy announcing his birthday on the radio is giving major pick me girl energy.
This is why I didn't want to say it.
Presents.
He asked why I was going. I didn't want to say because I don't like when people make a big deal about their birthdays. Now I'm the guy that's making a big deal about his birthday.
You're making a big deal about your birthday. You've talked about it like 4 times today.
You're the one that asked why I was going. I didn't bring it up. I just said I was going to Vegas.
Sammy going to Vegas for his birthday on Friday the 13th means he needs to get a fave tattoo. What is a fave tattoo?
I don't know what a fave is. Just your favorite tattoo?
Maybe a tramp stamp?
What?
Go right above the lower back?
This is not 2002. What? Why do I have to get a tattoo? What? I didn't lose anything.
I didn't say it. The text line said
it. The text line wants me to send them a picture of me getting a tramp stamp.
I mean, it'd be pretty funny. I'm here for it. I'll take the picture. It would be funny,
but then here's the problem. The bit will die and people will forget about it. And then I'm the one that's left with that on my body.
Face tattoo. It was a misspelling, like in The Hangover when Ed Helms gets a face tattoo. This is the money maker.
You don't put ink on that.
No, you could get the Tyson tattoo though.
Teardrop right down the side.
Not a teardrop. You haven't earned that. You got to earn a teardrop tattoo, Sammy. Everyone knows that.
Mike, this is text line. Text line has some big ideas for me in Vegas. None of those will be happening.
Where are you staying?
The Luxor, unfortunately.
Did I like the Luxor? If you don't get inside the pyramid, those rooms are weird, dude.
That's what. See,
taking the elevator is bizarre. You feel like you get vertigo immediately.
My friends are pretty. A couple of my friends are pretty cheap.
Are you in the pyramid?
I don't know. My buddy bought the room, but
because if it's the tower, the towers are really, really nice at the Luxor. That's where I stayed last time I went to Vegas.
I've stayed at Caesars, Venetian, Palazzo. I think that's the only ones I've stayed at.
So I mean, I hate to even admit that my brother-in-law is a degenerate high roller, big time. And
that's not something to be ashamed of.
And well, he wins a lot. But he gets rooms in Vegas wherever we want to go. So we've stayed everywhere.
You know what I had to do when I played in a basketball tournament when I was in high school, and they had you stay at South Point. That awful hotel.
Do I even know what that is? I don't know.
No, you should know what it is. It's the first hotel you get to when you're getting into Vegas. It's way off the strip. It was the most depressing thing ever.
I like staying on Fremont Street. I really do. The Circa Hotel, I think, is fantastic.
We're going to Fremont Circa.
Fremont's the place to go. You got to go in all those like places where you think you might get stabbed a little bit.
The Golden Nugget, because you can gamble on the street and then it's open.
Golden Nugget is one of my favorite places in the world. Some fun nights at the Golden Nugget, man.
Do you want to come out to Vegas?
No, I don't. I'm going in August-ish. We're going to see The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
It's my wife's favorite movie of all time.
But that seems like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It feels like a little bit of a waste of a night in Vegas.
I think it's going to be amazing, dude. They've redirected the movie to make it fit the Sphere. They've they have, I can't remember who the guy was. He directed some huge movie, but he's went in and every frame by frame, they fitted it exactly for the Sphere. I think it's going to be amazing.
Okay. That'll be cool.
I'm really looking forward to it.
But I just don't know. The craps table's calling.
Cool. Sammy, so face tattoo, we're going to lock that in.
I don't never agree to anything.
We'll lock that in. Thanks for the suggestion, 949. All right, final break of the show. When we come back, we'll get you ready for John and Jim, and we will throw out some picks for our division winners, I hope. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. We got a really big week coming up next week here on San Diego Sports 760. It is Sammy Long's birthday week. He wants everyone to know. I'm thinking about getting him a sash for his birthday that just says birthday boy in big colors across his chest. I'm sorry, but saying I don't want people to know about my birthday because I don't want to make it a big deal immediately makes it a big deal, Sammy.
No, it's not a big deal. It's a random birthday. It's a 23rd birthday.
It's a big deal, all right? It's going to be your birthday week. We're going to have themed days every single day.
No. We're
going to make sure you get a big cake with you on the front of it just to send you off to Vegas right. Tell me this. Are you going to make all your boys pose outside the fountain at the Bellagio and just be like, Sammy's birthday on 3, 1, 2, 3. Sammy's birthday!
See, I would deny that, but the problem is I already have a picture on my Instagram for my 21st birthday where we were all standing in front of the Bellagio or the Caesars lobby.
Seriously, can we get you a sash?
I'm not wearing a sash. If you get me a sash, I will wear one. That should be a bet. I will wear a sash for an hour and have to film it. And
an hour?
Brutally harassed. I'm not wearing a sash. And then I am going to find something for you to do at Petco when we go.
I think a birthday sash would look great. Maybe a tiara as well.
No.
That's what my wife did for her birthday.
Kendall and I getting a tiara and a sash.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I really do. So everyone can properly celebrate you.
Birthday week.
Birthday week.
No, birthdays are 24 hours.
Vegas. Speaking of birthday weeks in Vegas, and speaking of what the text line call you, a pick me girl?
Is that what they said?
I think that's what they said.
Yeah, text line calling me a lot of things right now.
Let's talk about John Schaefer and what he's wearing today.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure will be a topic of discussion on John and Jim, which is coming up in about 10 minutes. You can listen to John and Jim. John's wearing ripped jeans.
He goes to Vegas and goes to Kendrick Lamar. And
that's kind of cool. I didn't know that.
No, it was fantastic. He went to Vegas. He did the wrap-up show on Sunday.
Can we imagine John Schaefer at a Kendrick Lamar concert?
That's what I was saying. Apparently his wife.
Have you met his wife?
Yeah.
She's
great.
So polar opposite from everything John Schaefer is. John's wife is like the coolest human being I've ever met. And John is without a doubt like the second nerdiest human being I've ever met.
Yeah, like I can only imagine Schaefer on Ken Palm during the concert going through rankings of San Diego State.
Bring his laptop and say, babe, I'm sorry. I got a wrap-up show we gotta do. Gotta get Jim's in Hawaii.
He did the wrap-up show from the conference room and he got kicked out.
What?
No, literally. You can look at it on Sunday. He was by himself because Jim, you talking about birthday weeks? Jim's 3-week vacation in Hawaii that he just took
looked pretty magical. I'll be honest. In terms of like power ranking John and Jim forever, it's been John way up here and Jim way down here. This Hawaii, ripped jeans, Kendrick Lamar doing a wrap-up show in Vegas. This is evening out the like Jim knows how to go on vacation. We can give him credit for that.
The problem with Jim though is he does a vlog on vacation. He's like,
I liked being kept up to date. Sue me. Care about my friend.
Like, my only problem, and I got to ask Jim about this next, is he this is not nothing about his wife because she's great, does everything she wants on social. Jim does a thing on social media where he has a meal in Hawaii for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and every meal is the best meal they've ever had. I'm not BSing. He quoted it 5 different times on 5 different days. I'm like, it can't be the best meal I've ever had because you just told me 2 hours ago it was the best meal you ever had.
Sammy's really trying to deflect some attention off of his birthday right now to try to get Jim in some trouble, try to get John for his ripped jeans in some trouble. Sammy, it is your damn birthday month and we are celebrating.
You're one to talk because they had a whole party for you on Big Rich TD and Fletch.
I asked for none of it. Never brought up my birthday until the day of.
You asked me.
You brought up your birthday.
Why I was going to Vegas. I did not say, hey, it's my birthday. Let's all celebrate.
Could have been just, oh, it's Vegas, dude. You don't need a reason to go. You just go and you hoard. So it's my birthday. It's all my boys. We're going to be Vegas.
A hell next week.
We're going to Vegas for my birthday to celebrate me. 858 says you're zesty, bro. Congratulations.
Hashtag zesty.
You and Carl Anthony Towns. Padres got a game tonight. We got a guy named Bergert on the mound, which I'm pretty stoked for. I'm excited to see what he does. Look, this is an opportunity for him, and the Padres need help in a big way in the starting pitching department. So if Bergert can come out and I'm saying 5 innings. You get 5 innings and 2 runs out of Bergert tonight, you are stoked with that performance coming in tomorrow.
Well, in the kind of worry thing coming into the series was you had Kolek going on Monday, who you weren't totally sure about considering the last few starts, and then Bergert today. So the best thing about yesterday was not only that they won, but you saved the pen. The pen's pretty much good. So God forbid Burger gets in trouble here in the third or fourth inning, you have a day of the pen where you can kind of get after it, and kind of outside of Suarez have everyone at your disposal versus having to use him yesterday, and then you're going to leave Burger out there. He's going to have to deal with it if he gets in trouble. I expect a much higher scoring game from both teams tonight. Rube's they've been able to get to him. Tatis and Machado, looking at them too, kind of get a little bounce back, and hopefully Burger can not give up more than, let's say, 3 runs. I think that would be very, very reasonable for him to keep it and let it go to the bullpen. But the bats have to win this game tonight. Like, we can't realistically be expecting anything we get from Burger that's better than what we're expecting is going to be great. If he can get 5 innings, that's fantastic. This game should not be on Burger. Tatis, Machado, Arise need to show up and ball out and win this one tonight.
We got some breaking news ahead of John and Jim just coming through. Boop, 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 boop. Before we get to John and Jim, this must be announced because anybody that cares as much about their birthday as Sammy Long does needs to know who he shares a birthday with. How about Steve-O? That's a good one. Steve-O, you and
Steve-O.
June 13th. We got Tim Allen.
Tim Allen's great.
Tim Allen's good one. Chris Evans, Captain America.
Captain America and I, dude.
Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Oh, yeah.
Little Michelle from Full House. Both actresses played her.
I like that it's Friday the 13th. It could be, who knows?
By the way, I don't even want to say this out loud, just saying.
But you're going to say it?
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, we are doing something special the morning of Friday the 13th that has nothing to do with your birthday, but you are more than welcome to attend.
I don't want a celebration.
In fact, we could throw and Sammy's birthday at the end of it.
No.
It hasn't been announced yet, but make sure you're listening to Big Rich, TD, and Fletch tomorrow morning, 6 to 10 a.m.
Here's why that's not happening. I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. to come in here.
Well, it's going to start at 9, so...
That's still aggressive.
Maybe we can do something with it. I'm telling you, you're going to want to be a part of it.
Text line says I'm zesty.
You are zesty. And everyone out there, you could also be a part of it. So if you listen to Big Rich, TD, and Fletch tomorrow morning, we are going to announce what is happening on Friday the 13th, which is Sammy's birthday. But we are also doing something with Big Rich, TD, and Fletch that we're going to maybe add a little colon or a hyphen saying and Sammy's birthday.
By the way, shout out in all seriousness to the stream. Record on the stream today.
Really? Your birthday got the people going?
8:40.
Nobody knows what it is, but it's provocative. Gets the people going. John and Jim are provocative as well. They are coming up next. Make sure you talk about John's ripped jeans. We'll see you tomorrow.